What a way to conclude week 3 of ISL 2020 here at the Duna Arena. Energy Standard enters day number 2 of match 6, looking for their first win of the season. But the Breakers, Toronto Titans, both just behind them, but our standings after day number 1, Energy Standard finds themselves on top with 279 points. We are so glad you're along for the ride as well, alongside 3-time Olympic gold medalist Rowdy Gaines. I'm Bernie Gunther. And Rowdy, this Energy Standard team, they dominated a year ago. They did not lose, upset, if you will, in match number 1, but they're trying to find their winning ways again.
Well, they did what they had to do as defending champions. They led after day 1, and they did it without their best swimmer, their quarterback, so to speak, and that's Sarah Sjöström. So I expect big things from them again today.
But the surprise may be that the expansion team, the Toronto Titans, they're right on their heels right now.
Oh, what a performance by Toronto. And again, those lower tier teams really needed to make a statement yesterday, and the team that did it in a big way was Toronto.
Well, the biggest change for ISL 2020 is that the winner of the Medley relay picks the skins, and the winner yesterday on the women's side was Toronto.
Let's talk about the Titans. Look at this relay right here. Michelle Coleman at the top of the screen just holds off Femke Hemsker from Energy, and Toronto gets to choose the skins. And what skin did they choose, Bernie?
Backstroke, and why not?
Of course, let's choose backstroke. 50 backstroke, Louise Hansen, excuse me, that's Kylie Moss on the far right-hand side of the screen. Wins the 50 back. And Toronto chooses a skin. Why not the winner there?
Energy Standard, they won the men's side, and of course, why not go with Florence Manadou?
Florence Manadou, former world record holder in the 50 freestyle, one of the greatest sprinters in history, Olympic gold medalist. First time we're going to see the 50 freestyle in skins, and let's go with Flo.
And why not? Manadou's got a really good opportunity to try to be our match 6 MVP. He and Lisa Braden tied at the top at the moment with 32 points apiece. So we have a full day of swimming still to come. Energy Standard on top, but only by 38 points. Can Toronto make a charge here on the final day? We are about to find out as we get things kicked off with 100 freestyle, our first event on the pool deck. And what a great event it is for Energy Standard. There's Kasia Vosic coming in. She might be the one that can try to challenge Siobhan Haughey. Haughey is going to find herself in lane number 3, going right up against Kasia Vosic, the Asian record holder in the 200 freestyle. In match number 1, she broke 3 national records for her home country, Hong Kong, as well as 2 Asian records, and she was even better yesterday, Rowdy, in the 100 freestyle. Fastest time we've seen so far this year.
Yeah, led off in 51.1. Only 3 swimmers in history have ever broken 51. All of them Olympic gold medalists. Haughey has never even won an Olympic medal. She sure could have that chance next summer in Tokyo, but business at hand. Get Energy Standard off to a big win and big points to start this meet. This field is loaded. 4 swimmers have broken 52 career-wise.
Well, Vosic won the 50 yesterday. Haughey has already won the 200, and they meet in the middle here to try to battle in the 100 freestyle.
Yeah, Vosic in match 4 was 52.2, but she also led off one of their relays in a 51.8. So really, she's got the most speed going out. Haughey has the most coming back. So which one will pay off for the other?
Early on, it's Kasia Vosic trying to get the first win of this match for the New York Breakers, but look at that second 50. Haughey takes the lead.
24.5 for Haughey. That's exactly what she was. Haughey was on the leadoff on the relay for her. And right below her is Vosic, kind of hanging in there, also speeding out to a 24.7.
Hemsker trying to get in the mix for a second. Energy Standard would love to start at 1-2. Vosic trying to close, but Haughey, she is going to get the win again a year ago with DC Triton, now winning with Energy Standard.
3 swimmers go under 52 right there. Hahi, 51:30. Follows up a great time yesterday on the relay, and 9/100ths of a second, actually 2/100ths of a second, separates Vasek, who got second. Hemsker got third, and you can see them all three of them charging off the wall, Bernie, right there. Turn so critical, speed into the wall and out. That's the objective. And then right in the middle of them, there's Hahi, 51:3. She jumped from 21 in the world history to 6th yesterday with that 51:1. 51:3, still a top 10 time. Very nice job, and what a great job for Energy to get it going with a 1-3 finish.
Yeah, jackpot time for her that scored her 15 points. Heemsker tacks on 6 more. And Energy Standard, it's a big difference between Energy Standard and Toronto on that battle. Look at the build. 54 points out of the lead as Hahi gets the win. And Mark Foster's with the winner. Five-time Olympian Mark Foster on the pool deck once again for us today. Men's 100 freestyle, and we will not see Florent Manadou. He would have had the fastest time in this field. Obviously, we will see him in the skins later. Also in the 100 IM, it's James Gibson making some moves, and so maybe that opens things up for Alessandro Moressi, the 22-year-old Italian that grew up in a family of sportsmen, parents, played baseball and softball, but man, their son can swim. European long course champion in the 100 freestyle in 2018.
Just 22 years of age, just starting to hit his stride. Four-tenths of a second, Bernie, separates Moressi, Peroni, and Chergini. I think Chergini's due to have a good one. He's been fantastic on the relays. Hasn't quite put it together individually. He's way up there in the top in lane number 8.
Energy Standard with a 54-point lead, and Chergini, he is going to be the leader of the first 50 all the way out in lane number 8.
22-1. This is what you expect from Chergini, at least the first 50. He's fallen off the second 50 every time he's swum individually, but not on the relay. Will he be able to hold on here?
Oh, off of that third turn, Moressi takes the lead. Aqua trying to get some big points. Peroni's coming charging home, but Moressi's going to get the win for the Aqua Centurions. They go first and third. That was much needed.
Much needed indeed. 22-3, 23-9. Moressi, the only guy to break 24 seconds. The second 50, he was second at the 50 turn, and then he just started pouring it on. And Chergini, again, had a little hard time getting home. He fades to third. But I say fade in a good way because Aqua picks up, again, those valuable points, and you can tell that last turn is so tough. You've got all these big boys coming to the wall with a huge wave. Chergini way over there to the far right, and then right next to him is teammate Moressi coming home. Peroni's charging hard. He was 24 flat coming home. Big points there for Moressi and Aqua.
Aqua Centurions first and third. They score 15 points. Peroni second, but it remains Energy Standard in the lead here on day 2. Match number 6 of ISL 2020. Backstage in the red, there is Chad Leclos getting ready, Olympic champion in the 200 butterfly. He's moments away from making his first appearance on day number 2, but first woman to get a turn, and it's a pretty wide open battle here, and this could be important for the New York Breakers. They find themselves just behind Toronto, and if they could put together a big final day, they have a chance to finish second, Rowdy.
And they have 2 solid swimmers here, and Chimrova and Kapish. It's another strong heat here. Jakobos, both of them have been 2:04. Chimrova, Jakobos has been.
Emily Overholt countering on the Toronto side. She was Team Canada's youngest female swimmer in 2015. She's really grown into her own. Rosto and Bruce out on 7 and 8 for the Aqua Centurions, but I would imagine that this battle is going to be on the near side, and Chimrova comes in with the fastest time in the field, second twice this season, Rowdy, trying to get her first ISL win.
Actually, whoever wins this will be a first-time winner in the ISL, so you'll have a brand new champion in the 200-meter butterfly in ISL history. And I'm sure a lot of people are pulling for Chimrova. She's been that bridesmaid twice this season to some pretty good swimmers. Well, how about pretty good swimmer? That's Haley Flickener, who's the second fastest overall in the league so far this year.
Swimmers 6, 7, and 8 in the ISL top 10 ratings in this event. It's all about patience in this 200 butterfly, but it looks like Chimrova going to jump out alongside with Overall here in the first 50.
Well, Chimrova was very fast in that second race that she had with Flickener, match 4. She was 0:05. Kappa, really came back. She was 1:01.4. So Kappa's going to have to do it again at the end of the race. She's in lane number 3. She's charting out a little bit better.
Look at the start for Emily Overholt.
Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier, didn't we?
Fastest she's ever been is 2:08. Looks like she's going to hit a lifetime best unless a piano comes onto her back here in the final 100.
I mean, what is she doing? She is charging out there. Emily Overholt, which would again be huge for Toronto. Is she using that energy? Is she using that major fast swimming that Toronto had yesterday to pull one off? Here comes the field, though.
Yeah, it looks like the piano climbing onto her back, and Chimrova, she has taken the lead with 50 meters to go.
Yeah, Overholt is no doubt hurting right now, and those 3 that we thought would be in the mix are now having a race.
Jakobos looking over.
Yep, you're right, Bernie. She's looking over to the left, and now she'll be seeing her 2 main competitors now. You see her breathing right into them. There, the red cap. Perfect view right there.
Look at this for New York. Compass trying to lead a 1-2 finish. New York indeed. They've done it. 1-2. That's big for the Breakers. Tina Andrews is happy with that.
And Kappa wins her first ever ISL title in the 200 butterfly. Here's that last turn. It was great seeing those 3 women all kind of side breathing right there. They all side breathe to the left-hand side. So really you would think if anybody would be at a disadvantage, it would be Kappa right in front of you, but no way. She didn't need to see anybody. And what a huge, huge swim for New York.
How about them Breakers? 10 points. They will climb in their deficit for the Toronto Titans, and still within range, 31 points behind with a lot of races still to come here on day 2 of match number 6. That was a big 1-2 finish there. MVP standings. Siobhan Haughey has moved into the front, just a point ahead of Lisa Bratton. Manadou finds himself currently tied for second, but remember Manadou is going to swim the 100 IM and the all-important freestyle skins at the end. All right, time to bring onto the pool deck the Olympic champion in this 200 butterfly, and Chad Leclos, swimming for Energy Standard. Didn't have a really great first match. This event, though, he really did fight pretty hard with Tom Shields, wound up just behind him. But certainly he's the favorite here. And for him, this is a big opportunity to swim in this International Swimming League because he's always been used to swimming for himself. And he talked about a year ago what it meant for him to have teammates and get to swim in this team competition. It really is a game changer, Rowdy.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's not been known to swim on a lot of relays for his home country, and to be able to come in and swim, especially these relays, and be a valuable team member, I know that means a lot to him. And you're right, he didn't swim that well the first meet, but he's been swimming much better here. He's the second fastest performer in history to Seto. Both of them broke the world record a couple years ago in the same heat. Seto kept it. Leclos ended up second.
All right, the ISL's number 2 rated swimmer in this event. At the moment behind Tom Shields, but can't wait to see those two battle in the 200 butterfly once again.
Leclos was 52.6 when he went 150.48. That, again, is a couple of tenths behind. He was actually 5/100ths behind Shields in that first match. Shields went on to go a little faster at 150.2. So I would guess he would love to be able to break 150. I know that's got to be a goal of his coming in. I break 150, I charge ahead of Shields time-wise, I move up on my rating, 24.8 there at the first 50. He's certainly the class of this field on paper. It's been 148.3. Nobody else has ever broken 151, Bernie.
He didn't get a chance to get under that 150 mark a season ago, but certainly doesn't mean that it's not possible. Right now he finds himself in a battle, however, halfway home. But again, we really saw Chad Leclos make his move on the third 50 in match number 1.
Completely different strategy here. 53.3 going out. So he's 0.7 of a second behind what he went, again, in that first match. That was, seems like a lifetime ago, so he could certainly change that strategy. But you know what? He is in a race right now, and this is a shocker.
Yeah, DeDeos out in lane number 8 for Aqua Centurion's 8th rated ISL swimmer, finds himself in the lead by 0.2.
There's a great turn there for Leclos, though. He stayed underwater. DeDeos came up and swam 2 strokes before Leclos broke.
Oh, he is making his move in the final 50, and Leclos is going to come out on top. Great timing, doing it for his team. He gets the win with 9 points, winning the 200 butterfly.
Well, think about the last 50. He made everybody look foolish on the last 50. 27.7. Nobody else broke 29. The next closest was DeDeos, and he was 29.4. So almost 2 seconds faster just on the last 50 alone, Bernie. So certainly completely different strategy, because if you remember the first match, Shields went by Leclos at the end. He really kind of faded at the end. No fading today for Leclos. And even though the time is still a little slower than he went in the first match, I think he swam it smarter. I think it was a much smarter swim. He drives that body forward with his chin and chest as good as anybody in the world, and certainly will maintain that rating as second at least.
All right, 12 points for a jackpot win, and combined with his teammate, they score 18 points. So look at energy, getting it done. Chad Leclos down with our own Mark Foster now. All right, Chad Leclos has Energy Standard jumping out to a 65-point lead after his 200 butterfly win. The defending champions, Energy Standard, eyeing their first win of ISL 2020, and man, have they built on their lead here on day number 2. 65 points now the margin, but in a game of runs, which we've seen ISL 2020 become, gets to be a whole lot better potentially for Toronto. Now this could be where they make their move and try to counter back as they go on the offense with Kylie Moss and Lisa Braden, who have been very good in this event.
Yeah, they certainly have. Another great heat of some strong swimmers. Moss, who was so brilliant, leading off Toronto's 400 medley relay yesterday with a 56.2, quicker than anybody else in the field. In fact, nobody even broke 57, so you'd have to consider her the favorite. Lisa Braden, her teammate, won the 200 backstroke yesterday, so you have to think that Toronto is loaded in this event, although you do have Seabom in there and a couple others.
Yes, Seabom checks in, ISL 6th rated swimmer. Moss, the ISL 3rd rated swimmer, and Lisa Braden. And Kylie Moss leading the way as one of 10 Canadians on the Titans, the current world record holder in this event. She was out of the water for 122 days, but I don't think that we have seen her miss a beat, Rowdy.
Not a chance. Moss, you might remember, was the bronze medalist in this event back at Rio in the Olympic Games. Her lifetime best is 56 flat. She was close to that yesterday. Seabom actually has the fastest time at 55.3, the only swimmer to break 56. She's 5th all time.
Well, Seabom's right to the inside with the red cap, but in the gold cap in the middle, it's going to be Kylie Moss, the leader, halfway home, and she's built almost a half a second lead over Seabom and Shores for the New York Breakers.
Yeah, she was faster there than she was on the relay when she went 56.2. She was 26.9 on the way out. She was 27.2 yesterday. She's in for a good one.
Yeah, Kylie Moss, a big reason why she is going to swim the backstroke skins. Oh, Seabom trying to pressure her down the stretch, but easily it's going to be Kylie Moss getting the win for Toronto. They're on top for the first time today, and it is going to be a jackpot win for Kylie Moss. 15 points going to Moss, 6 points for her teammate, so in total, Toronto scores 21 points in the 100 backstroke.
Just a nice swim for Toronto from a team perspective. Moss gets first, Bratton gets third. She charged home and went by a lot of people at the end to grab third. And a really nice job for Seabom. She kind of bounced back from yesterday's, not necessarily disappointing. She was 57 flat, but she was faster here. But so was Moss, 56.1. The best time in history she's ever been was 4 years ago. Again, 56.02. She's right on it.
Oh, Toronto outscoring Energy by 10 points, so that will make the 65-point advantage. Now 55-point advantage is Kylie Moss wins the 100 backstroke for the second time this season. All right, Kylie Moss getting the win. Now the tables flip back to Evgeny Rylov, who's the favorite in this event, but Shane Ryan certainly could provide maybe a little bit of an upset in a matchup between a Titan like Energy Standard. The Toronto Titans need to pull a couple of upsets.
Yeah, this is what they need to do, kind of continue that role that they built from Moss. They did that yesterday when Moss went out there and Bratton won the 200 backstroke. The backstroke has charged him ahead in many ways. It's going to be tough to beat Rylov, though. Reloff was 50.1 on the relay. Shane Ryan, 50.6 yesterday. And then Matt Grievers, how about the Olympic gold medals from 2012? Did not swim the backstroke on their relay yesterday. He swam butterfly.
Yeah, and for Reelov, Roddy, it's kind of that story of what a difference a week can make. He was third in the 100 and the 200 backstroke in match number 1, but he's already won the 200 backstroke, and he looks so much better yesterday.
Yeah, than he did in week 1. You're right, Bernie. He certainly does. He was 50.3 the first match, for example, getting third. Again, 50.1 yesterday. I think the goal here, get under 50. That's what you have to do to kind of gain that confidence to go up against a Murphy or a Irie or a Guido, who have all been under 50.
But it's Ryan pressuring the field. He's in the lead, trying to win both of the backstroke events. Can Reelov track him down?
Boy, Shane Ryan looks good right now. What a performance he's putting in.
Shane Ryan making Toronto 2 for 2 in the backstroke events. He will get the win.
And again, you know, you always try to choose one person that kind of leads the way for you. And I really have to think that was Moss. I mean, she did that on the relay yesterday, getting him off to a huge lead. She wins the 100 back right there. And then all of a sudden, Shane Ryan says, I want to join this party. Great turns. He has so much speed. 24 flat going out, 26.4 coming home, though. Not quite as fast as they probably like to be as far as times go, but this is about points right now, especially for Toronto, as they start to gain just a little bit. Pratt was 5th.
Yeah, back-to-back wins. They made up 10 points on the women's side, 3 more points made up on the men's side as Ryan gets the win. And another big story, too, for Toronto, Rowdy, is that they get a little bit more separation from the New York Breakers. And no matter what, they love to finish second. That's the goal at the end of the day.
That's absolutely correct. And for New York, the goal is the same. So they have not given up. And, in fact, this is a great event. So you could see the tide turn a little bit here with Abby Wood and the performances she's had thus far in the ISL season.
Yeah, we see Abby Wood. She's going to be down in lane number 2. We saw her win the 200 IM yesterday. She won the 400 IM a week ago. Wood, who swapped the pool for the bike during the pandemic, really started to break out into her career last year in December, and she truly has broken out here in ISL 2020 and now trying to get all the IM wins. She's won the 400, won the 200, and can Abby Wood now win the 100 IM? It's a spot that the Breakers really could use a win.
Well, she broke that long-standing British record yesterday of Siobhan O'Connor. It was 5 years old. Could she get one today? O'Connor has the record in this one at 57.59. Flying back, watch Abby Wood. She'll be very good. And that's where she will start to chase down somebody like Shkurdai.
Yeah, Shkurdai right next to her in the red cap had the early lead, but Abby Wood looked a little bit better underwater. But Shkurdai, for energy standards, she leads by a half a second.
Breaststroke, she'll come back in a big way on the breaststroke. Abby Wood, who was really more known as a weak breaststroker, made her move yesterday in the 200 IM, but look at Shkurdai. She comes in with a 009. 3 seconds slower than Wood, and now she's in the lead. This would be a big upset in a lot of ways.
Shkurdai trying to get the win, and her teammate, Mary Sophie Harvey, getting pulled with her. Oh, but here comes Wood down the stretch. Who will touch first? Oh! Shkurdai got her, and look at how tight that one was, Rowdy. Less than a tenth of a second, 0.08.
And Shkurdai, who was really an afterthought in this race, coming in, Bernie, she had the 7th fastest time of anybody in this field historically. Her fastest time was last year, 009. Why would we think she would be able to do something here? She's been quick on the butterfly, no doubt about it, but that's the crazy thing about the IM, the 100 IM. is the fact that if you can kind of build that lead with a fly, you'll have the dolphin kick coming off with backstroke. And then she started holding everybody off, including Wood at the end. Oh, 14 100ths of a second over Wood in that 100 IM. That's an upset, any way you look at it.
Energy back to their winning ways. And as a team, they scored 21 points. And now the Florent Manadou show begins here on day 2. Not only do we get to see him swim the 100 IM, but later the freestyle skins, Michael Andrew, Joe Litchfield, they're going to be down in 1 and 2. But Manadou is going to be in lane number 3, and we haven't seen him swim this 100 IM since 2013, so we're kind of in for a treat, Rowdy.
7 years for this guy. Well, you know 3 of the strokes are like top 5 in the world, world class, and that's fly back and free. His breaststroke has been his, so to speak, Achilles heel historically, but that was a long time ago. Well, I don't know what he's going to do here. Kolesnikov, there are some really good swimmers. Kolesnikov, lane number 3, is the second fastest performer in history. He's right next to Manadou, but guess what? They're teammates. Good chance for them to go 1-2 here. Michael Andrew, though, Bernie, watch him. He comes in rated 5th in the 100 IM. He's got a best time of 51.1, just outside top 10 in history. Boy, he held him a long time before he commanded him down. Unusual.
All right, Manadou and Andrew right next to one another in lanes 2 and 3 on the bottom of the screen. Look at Manadou underwater.
Yeah, so good underwater. So is Andrew, though. And Andrew has a better breaststroke, and he's hanging right there with Manadou. So is Litchfield. We forgot about Litchfield. He's only been 52 flat, but he did a great job in the 200 and 400 IM. Does he have enough speed to stay with these guys?
All right, Michael Andrew, he is right there once again at the 75. Remember, he was here before, and he faded down the stretch. Oh, and it looks like Manadou is going to take over the race here in the 100 IM, but Andrew pushing back. Michael Andrew, just behind Manadou. He gets the win at 51.49.
And his mom is showing, oh my goodness. And believe it or not, Florent Manadou was hurting at the end. He was lucky that Andrew did not go by him. I mean, 15-100 seems like a lot more than it looked at the end, and it just seemed like the last 2 strokes for Andrew just fell apart because he was charging against Flo Manadou. You can see this breaststroke turn, both of them go off dead even, and then he thought, this is going to be all Manadou. Right there it was. 5 meters left. He thought, no, Andrew may do it. But what a charge in the walls. Watch this punch to the wall by Flo Manadou. Just gets by Andrew, and he knows it. Oh, you put in a good one, young man.
Energy Standard. New York Breakers, same number of points. So New York gains back a couple on Toronto. But what a start to day number 2 for the defending champions. 10 wins yesterday with a win by Manadou. Already 4 today here on day 2 as Energy surging into the lead. All right, back at the pool, Bernie Gunther alongside 3-time Olympic champion Rowdy Gaines, 5-time Olympian Mark Foster, and 200 freestyle back on the pool deck. We've already seen Siobhan Haughey win the 100 freestyle, and she comes in as the clear favorite here in the 200 freestyle. Haughey is going to be down in lane number 3. What a big pickup she was for Energy Standard. A year ago, she swam for DC Tri, and she won this 200 freestyle 3 times. Already off to a faster start this year swimming than she swam a year ago, where she broke the ISL record in her first match, going 151.67, the 7th fastest time in history, and one might imagine she could even go quicker here, Rowdy.
Yeah, only one swimmer in history has ever broken 151. That's her teammate, Sarah Sjöström. Who you might know that is out with a bad back. Certainly expect her to be back at some point this season. But this is where the rich get richer. I mean, Siobhan Hawley just steps in and fills that need, and they've got Hemskirk, who came in here and has done the job on the relays for them.
Hawley down in lane number 3, already jumping out to the lead, leading by a half a second ahead of Smith after the first 50.
Wow, when she went 151.6, she was 26.5. Bernie, she's 0.6 of a second faster just that first 50, and it's a little misleading because those other swimmers are jumping on it too, but this is where she just get tired, and you can see energy starting to feel it right now. All of a sudden they're going, wow, they're in first and second or first and third. Again, 55.5 the first week, 54.2.
Oh my goodness, and you saw a moment ago Sarah Sjöström watching Siobhan Hawley lead Rebecca Smith. Smith won this event in match number 3. Can Hawley get under that 151 mark?
54.2 going out. Now check the third 50. She was 28.6, 124 flat. Again going 151.6. She's a second faster.
Oh my goodness, 123.06 for Siobhan Hawley. She just keeps getting quicker.
And Rebecca Smith is having a swim of a lifetime, but it's just in the background. You just think, oh my goodness, she's going fast, but look at how he go. Now, it is the fact that she went 27.6 the last 50 when she went 151.6.
Look at the big jackpot she's trying to catch. Check it out, 151.42. That's a new ISL record, and she is going to steal away all the points from 4th down to 8th.
What a swim, 151.42, the lifetime best. She moves from 7th all-time to 5th all-time. She just keeps moving up. That time is the fastest swim the last 3 years. That's how quick that 200 freestyle was. Everything about that race was completely different than the first time she swam it, and I think that's brilliant strategy. You got to figure you got to win it, so why not tinker with it? Why not test it out a little bit? And Rebecca Smith, give her a credit. 152.9, she goes her lifetime best from 4 years ago.
Well, Hawley almost told the entire field no points for you. 30 points for Energy Center. She now leads the MVP battle. She's moved in front of Florent Manadou with 57 points for the match. Manadou currently second in the MVP standings, and Kylie Moss third. Men's 200 freestyle next, which features the top 2 ISO-rated swimmers, Bruno Carrera in 7, Blake Peroni in lane number 6.
Number 1 versus number 2. You don't get to see that often, at least now. We'll see a lot of that in the semifinals and the finals, but it's nice to see 1 and 2 going at it right now. And that doesn't even include Rapsis, who really is the favorite. There's Rapsis right there. You've got to consider him the favorite. He had a great 400 yesterday. ISL record. Peroni and Carrera, the other 2, and that rating, again, will move up in a big way if Rapsis can win this. He was second in the very first match.
Yeah, he's the only swimmer in this field that's gone under 141.
Peroni's been 141.15. That's just outside the American record set 10 years ago by Ryan Lochte. He did that a couple of years ago, and the way Peroni's swimming, I wouldn't be surprised if he got that American record once we get to the semis and the finals.
Yeah, he's the American record holder, Rowdy, short course yards, the only man in history to get into that 130 mark.
23.6 going out for Rapsis.
A bit of an upset that first week when Sheffer from the Current beat Rapses. You know, you based everything on that 400 he had the day before, but again, if you base anything on the 400 yesterday, this is going to be a runaway, and look at him go.
Yeah, he just looks
wow.
smooth.
49.8, Bernie. That's a full second over Peroni at 51 flat.
And it's hard to imagine that Rapses can't continue to build.
No, I mean, I thought he looked very smooth going out. In control. Look at the legs. He's laid off the legs. He hasn't really put his legs into it. Peroni's starting to move up a little bit. He's now a second and a half behind Rapses.
Aubach has moved into second. It's Aubach and Peroni battling it out for second, while Energy Standard looking to win yet another battle today. They've already won 5 races on day number 2. Rapses is going to make it 6. He gets the win, 141.23. That's a new ISL record, folks. What a second day for Energy Standard. Rapses with their 6th win. Already 6 wins here on day 2 of match 6, and Chad Leclos, have to give him a pretty good crack at winning the 50 butterfly. He's getting ready behind the scenes. But first, women's 50 fly, another event where we could see Energy Standard get a win, Rowdy.
Yeah, they are just loaded across the board in so many different events, and that's one of the things that really did the job for them. They had the great superstars, obviously, with people like Leclos and Shoistra, but they have great depth.
Yeah, this is usually a Sarah Shoistrom special.
Yeah, 3rd fastest in history in this event, not in the event. She hadn't won yet. She did not win the first weekend. She was upset by Gastadello. But I like Louise Hansen.
You see Toronto's made a change. They've inserted Michelle Coleman into the lineup. She'll be next to Hansen, 5 and 6. Skirtai, though, down in 3. We've already seen her win the 100 butterfly.
I think this is going to be a great race between 2 tough competitors. Hansen's debut in the ISL still comes in 10th. She wins this, and her rating will go way up. She was 25-3 on the way out on the relay yesterday in the 100 butterfly. Had the fastest split of anybody.
What a great start for Bannock. She launched herself off of the block, and she's launched herself into the lead. Bannock eyeing her first ISO win. Surkova trying to track her down, though, for the breakers, but Bannock holds on. She gets the win, and in a jackpot fashion, bringing home the points. Oh, yeah, you won it. First ever ISL win.
Again, here is a situation where you just never know. Bannock, she doesn't even have a lifetime best time in this event, meaning officially anyway, she's never even swum it. I mean, it's not even available on our sheet. And she goes 24-9 and upsets in a big way a lot of good swimmers behind her. Surkova, Skrdai, Vasek, the winner of the 50 free, and Hansen. Hansen was 5th with a 25-6. That was one heck of a heat.
And just to put it in perspective, that's only 2/10 off what Beryl Gastadello did as the ISL record. That's a really good swim for Bannock.
Very good. Unbelievable. And now she will be a big factor. You can bet they're going to keep swimming her in the 50 fly, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that Bannock has earned her spot in there. Interesting to see now. Hey, think about it. Actually, that time, Roddy, is faster than we saw Sarah Shoistrom swim in the 50 fly a year ago in Las Vegas. Some questions for
I don't know.
Coach Gibson.
What do you say to something like that? It's hard to put that in perspective, considering that it just kind of came out of nowhere, and that's one reason why I love this league, man. It puts the fire in a lot of bellies.
There he is, Chad Leclos. And again, we see it in sports, right? That an injured superstar goes down, and those that seize the opportunity like Bannock did, she's definitely going to be on the radar for a while now.
Your quarterback, Tua, from Miami.
It did good, right? All right, 5 swimmers rated in the top 10, including number 1. There he is, Sebastian Szabo. 5 wins in this event, the fastest time in the field in all of ISL 2020.
Szabo, 5th fastest in history, just behind by 1/100th Chad Leclos. Again, Szabo did that this year in the ISL. Leclos did that 6 years ago. Szabo considered the favorite.
Way up on top. Good start there by Szabo. 0.60. Only Joe Litchfield was faster in lane number 2.
Yeah, just like Bannock, Szabo flies off the blocks into the turn. He's into the lead. Can anybody track down the Aqua Centurion?
Wow!
I think not. Look at that wall for Szabo.
Look out! Look
he
out!
gets his 6th win. 21.86. Oh, jackpot. Szabo leading the way.
That was almost a world record. 21.75 is the world record by Santos, who is here, by the way. Not in this match, but what a swim. I thought the world record was going down. Look at the lead. I base a lot of that on what he looked like the last 10 meters and how far ahead he was of the rest of the field. He won a 50 butterfly over Michael Andrew, who was second. Nice job of getting second. But he won it by 0.8 of a second in a 50.
Szabo, 24 big ones, only 11/10 off the world record. His 6th win in the 50 fly. Well, what a exciting second day of match 6. By the way, after this, it is all double headers on the way home for matches 7, 8, 9, and 10 that will conclude the regular season. Then the semifinals, and of course, November 21st and 22nd, we bring you ISL's 2020 final right here from the Duna Arena in Budapest. 15-year-old sensation Benedetta Pilato onto the pool deck in lane number 3. Kelsey Wog really battled her well yesterday in the relay.
Sure did. Wog was, you actually, Ernie Pilato had the fastest split on the relay, but there were 5 swimmers all within 0.5 of a second of each other on that relay. So again, Pilato, I would definitely say 15 years old, she's still a heavy favorite here. But, and I say that with a big but, there were a lot of swimmers, including Wog, who was 104.7 on that relay. Renshaw, 104.4. Carrara was 4.6. Castiglione was 4.3. There are a lot of great breaststrokers in this heat right here.
Well, we're going to see another first-time winner here because typically it is either Lily King or Atkinson winning it. Actually, I guess Breja Larson swam for the Breakers a year ago. She could win this event potentially for the second time, but she hasn't quite been in form so far here in ISL 2020.
No, she hasn't. Bria Larson actually went 103.8 last year when she won the match in Louisville, but ended up with a best time. She's still seated, or I should say rated, number 6, and Larson is out fast.
Pilato into the lead in lane number 4. Larson just behind her in lane number 3. Could be a 1-2 finish. Oh, to be 15 years old and this good. Pilato.
30.1 on the way out. Best time in history, 3.6.
Look at the turnover for Pilato. She just keeps going and going, in for the win. Wog will finish second and a tie for third.
You know, I think the cool thing about Pilato at 15, doesn't have a lot of strength, Bernie, you know, and she's not good off the walls because she's not there yet, strength-wise. When she starts to grow older and get stronger and stronger, watch her underwater here. She doesn't have those crisp, quick turns. So that just means the upside for this young woman is going to be just amazing. Beautiful stroke. Everything about her stroke that you see is just great, but she just doesn't get around in a quick manner. So that definitely affects her short course. She's going to be great long course, going to be a big factor for a medal next summer in Tokyo. But right now, 103.8 followed that up. That first match from a 103.6, 2 solid swims of under 104.
And Pilato gets her first 100 breaststroke win. 10 points for Energy Standard. And they remain on top with 476 points. Still tight battle, though, for second place with the Breakers. Couple of big events. Can they jump ahead of the Titans down the stretch? It's Toronto still maintaining their second position that they held going into it. All right, time now for the 100 breaststroke. We saw Marco Koch yesterday go after that world record, came up just short, but I don't think that you're going to see Koch run away with the 100 breaststroke like he did the 200.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I mean, you've got Shamanovic, who just blew everybody away in the 50 breaststroke, almost broke the world record, and then you've got Koch, who almost broke the world record in the 200. So you got to figure these two guys are going to have a wonderful day, but I mean, this might be the best field of the weekend overall depth-wise, Bernie. But what, 5 of the 9 fastest breaststrokers so far
you got
this season?
5 of 8 of the lanes filled with ISL top 10 rated swimmers, including the number 1 rated swimmer in Shamanovic, who's won this event 3 times. But there is Marco Koch. He could get some much needed points for the Breakers. He's going to be all the way down by himself in lane number 1.
He's got to find his speed. He's got to find his tempo, his turnover, that first 15 meters. Let everything take care of itself after 15. Go to being Marco Koch, but you've got to do something to get out on a Shamanovic. You do not want him to get too far ahead. You just don't have the luxury of a 200 where you can keep kind of gaining momentum along the way. This is not one of the races you can do that. And he's done a much better job here of getting out the first 15.
And you can't forget about Anton McKee for Toronto. He is only 17/100ths of a second behind Shamanovic as far as his time this season. And expect McKee to come charging home, but Shamanovic out to the early lead. He and Lima leading the way.
Yeah, 25.9. The only guy to break 26 going out. And Lima 26.4. I don't think Lima's got the staying power of a Shamanovic.
All right,
boy.
McKee trying to make a move.
Nobody. Look at this. Look at this dominance. And against an amazing field. Here they come, but Shamanovic is going to win it.
Shamanovic runs away with 100. 55.86. That's a new ISL record. And just off the world record as well. He takes down Adam Peaty's record.
Did you just say that? He took down Peaty. He took down the great Adam Peaty's record. That's how good of a swim this was. He's out in 25.9 and the only swimmer to break 30 on the way back. Even Koch couldn't do that. Koch just couldn't get out. 27.1. I mean, he's way over to the left. No way he could get out. That's a European record, too, by the way. Fastest anybody in European history has ever been. And now the second fastest performer in history. He was already second, but he goes his lifetime best. Only 0.3 of a second behind the world record of Cameron Vandenberg.
Yeah, and Rowdy, imagine this. This is only match 6. When Peaty set that record, it was the ISL finals where everybody was shaved, tapered, ready to go. Shamanovic is ready to go for Energy Standard already in match 6. He's found his form. All right, mixed relay time. Double points on the line. 18 points for a relay win. Aqua Centurions, you could expect that they will have the lead halfway through. They got two really good front legs. They're just really missing Federica Pellegrini. They could use a couple of swimmers down the stretch to get them competitive with the rest of the field.
You're so right, Bernie. They've got the front half, but their back half is just not going to be there with anybody else. I mean, they'll have a slight lead probably after the men, but they just don't have the women. They haven't had anybody break 53 yet on a relay for their women. Their women were fourth in the 400 freestyle relay, so you've got to probably go with Energy and Toronto as the co-favorites here. Energy won the women, third in the men, and Toronto was second in both the women and the men. So you kind of marry those two together, and you've got a potential for a great race. And with the wild card of New York up there, or down there in lane number 1 with Vasek winning the 50 freestyle, has not been on the mixed relay and did not swim the relay yesterday.
Yeah, Vasek would love to jump in within range. Question is, can her teammates give her an opportunity?
Well, you're right, Bernie, because their men didn't do the job for New York. The women can do it. It's really going to be kind of a wacky race, and that's one of the reasons why I love the mixed relays. The mixed medley relay will be an Olympic event. This is an event that's held at the World Championships year in and year out, but boy, I love it in the ISL because it gives that chance for that team with a lot of depth to be able to do something very, very cool.
All right, Relov leading the way for Energy Standard in lane number 4. He finds himself 4/10 behind the Aqua Centurions. Baresi with the lead leg. As we mentioned, you could expect Aqua to be in the lead halfway home.
Yeah, Relov, you got to figure that you like what he did because they took Billis off and they put Relov off the front end and put Relov on the front end, and boy, look at Aqua break it out though in first place with Moresi going 46.7. Relov faded to 47.2.
How big of a lead can Aqua build? 18 points for a relay win.
It's going to have to be big. It's going to have to be really big. At least, my guess is at least a second and a half. That's how big of a lead they're going to have. Chergini's going to give him probably a body length, Bernie. I just don't think that's enough. You would think with only 200 left, that would be plenty right now. It's going to be close. They're certainly going to give the women a lead.
All right, Munoz, this is another good leg. She had a very good 100 early. She jumps in. She's got almost a second and a half lead.
Munoz was 53 flat on their relay yesterday. 53 flat, and Munoz was in the individual 100. She was 53.6. So you got to figure she's probably going to be close to 53 flat again. They're still hanging in there. I mean, still that body length lead. Nobody really wants it right now except Aqua. Here they are. Here they come.
Hahi trying to move up, trying to get Energy Standard in range with Heemskert to swim the final leg.
Yeah, see, the women are going to run out of room, and now Energy's looking really good with Heemskert. Hahi was 51-1 again. You just can't compete against that. I mean, Smith's 52-4, 52-7. You've got there's no way to compete against a 51-1 on the third leg of a mixed relay. It's just tough to do. Heemskert 52-8 yesterday when she anchored, but I think she let up at the end.
Aqua, though, they are battling. They still have a chance to potentially finish second. But it's going to be Energy Standard. And as you mentioned, the back half of the relay, Hahi got him close. Heemskert helps him get the win, and Energy Standard with 18 points. Titans will go second, and Aqua Centurions finishing third. What a second day for the defending champions. They now have 520 points. All right, this is where we sit on day 2 of match 6. Energy Standard trying to get their first win of the season, believe it or not, Rowdy. Leading the way with 520 points. Toronto still comfortably in second. New York Breakers currently third, and again, only 8 of the 10 teams are going to make their way into the semifinals. There she is, Abby Wood, back onto the pool deck, trying to get her second 400 IM win.
A mild upset there in the 100 IM. She still had a great time, 58 plus. Better in the 200 and really good in the 400. Had a chance to talk to her on the pool deck yesterday after the meet was over, and she was just an engaging young woman. She just a great smile, a great laugh, really having a good time. Gives you a lot of hope, those swimmers that are short of stature as far as height goes, because she's not a big girl at all. Yet she is one mighty might. What does Mark call her?
The Pocket Rocket.
Pocket Rocket.
"21 years old, only 7 points a year ago, but already 2 wins here in ISL 2020.
Keep an eye on Sapluka as well. She'll be in lane 5 for Toronto. She's actually been faster than Wood. Sapluka went 4:27 in match 3. Wood was 4:28, and they are almost mirror images on the way they swim this race, Bernie. Literally, if you look at their splits from their first 2 races, they were virtually dead even the whole way. So, again, unless they change strategy, you're going to see this come down to the wire just like it was the first match.
Yeah, Tess Sapluka, a Canadian at 22 years of age, actually trains down in Knoxville, Tennessee, where the Tennessee Lady Vols swim.
Both of them out 102 in the first match.
Again, you think about the pandemic, Rowdy, and I'm not discounting the 50 and the 100 swimmers, but as far as getting into a training and an endurance, you think that for a swimmer like Wood to be at her best, where she traded the swimming pool for a bike, I mean, it's really quite a concept.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to feel like the pandemic created such havoc in all of these athletes' lives. And when you think about the middle distance and distance swimmers, certainly the sprinters, it's affected, but just to be able to get back in shape has got to be just tremendously difficult. In a race like this, the decathlon of swimming that many people call it, certainly many feel it's the single most difficult race of all. Some will argue the 200 fly, some will say the 1500, some will say the 50 free in many ways, in different ways, but what it does to the body. And there goes Abby Wood on the backstroke. This is what she did in the 200 IM. She was 109.5 when she went 428. Boy, she was 34.6, 33.6. So 108.2. So she's a full second faster on the backstroke split there, Bernie. Going out the first 200, 2:10.6. She's about a second faster than she was in match number 1.
All about momentum, right, Rowdy?
Yeah, I mean, she gained a lot of that yesterday, didn't she, Bernie? I mean, 4:28. The fastest Brit in history is Hannah Miley, who went 4:23 back in 2012. Don't think she's going to get there, at least not this meet. But she's got a great chance to go her lifetime best, which she did just last week at 4:28.19.
At Toronto, and Kaplucha giving her chase overhauled in the mix as well. But she's fallen to 4th. Jacobos And the top three for Energy Center, but it's all about Abby Wood trying to hold on to the lead.
And interesting here, Bernie, Sapluka's not out of it. When you look at their last splits on the first time, Wood was 102.7 coming home. Sapluka was 101.7, so she was a full second faster than Wood coming home. Now they're breathing to opposite sides, so coming home now, at least this 25, they'll start to eye each other. They've got plenty of room to do that, and guarantee you Wood's looking at her right now and go, oh my goodness, here she comes. They are very, very close.
And man,
Sapluka may go by her right here.
Yeah, from a half second down, Sapluka has taken the lead by a quarter of a second.
This is where Sapluka was much stronger than Wood before. 30.5 Wood came home last week, 29.7 for Sapluka. So this is exactly what shaped up to be a great race between the two of them, but Sapluka may just win this.
Well, Abby Wood got her first ISL win in match number 4, but match 6 goes to Toronto. Tess Sapluka getting the win.
Very nice. Hey, what a way to stay in your zone and kind of put those blinders on. That's hard to do in a 409. You feel like sometimes you want to spin your wheels to get back into it, and she did none of that. She was not having any of it. And Sapluka and Wood, and you saw Tina Andrew saying great job for Abby, but Sapluka doing the job. And you know, you get to the freestyle and you feel like, gosh, I'm 75% of the way, I'm done, you know? You try to match your initial butterfly split. If you could think about doing that, which she did, 101 plus coming home, that's just a very nice, solid, in your zone split right there in the middle of the pool. What a great job. And Wood followed up her 428 with a good 429, but this was Sapluka at the end. And T for Toronto, T for Titans, absolutely.
Toronto getting the win in 15 points as Tess Sapluka gets her first ISL win. Toronto's still holding at that number 2 spot overall. Approaching 400 points now, 398 points. All right, men's turn in the 400 IM. Max Stupin, the favorite from the ISL ratings, rated 9th. Brandon Smith rated 10th in this event. Stupin went 4:07.09 his first time out, but Brandon Smith about a second faster than he went. And Alameda, 4:04.75. He swam the 4th fastest time of the field. And again, this is a moment as you see Philip Hines, whose best time would beat the entire field at 4:02.8. That Energy Standard is missing Max Litchfield. Bit under the weather before this match. It's 2 big misses for Energy Standard, not having Sarah Schoistrom, not having Max Litchfield, who could win a couple of big races for you.
How'd you like to have that kind of a lead on everybody without your best swimmer, without question, and the best 400 IMer you've got? So when they get Litchfield and Schoistrom back, they are going to be one heck of a team to contend with.
Sidlauskas getting out to the early lead. Again, 4 laps of each stroke: butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. Philip Hines, it's a guy that we've seen win that 200 IM. Question is, can he win the 400 here? He was 8th, Roddy, last time in the 400 IM. That's quite a change. You don't typically see a 200 IM winner finish 8th in the 400 IM.
No, I was surprised about that. 56.2 going out. So was Stupin, though. Stupin 56.2 as well. Just 2/100ths of a second behind. Very early in this race. You think about Almeida, really, as far as season-wise, without question, in this group, much better than anybody else. Almeida.
Almeida second his last time out to David Verasto from Team Iron.
Almeida down there in lane number 2 for New York. Now he's starting to edge out a little bit. When he went 4:04 in match number 4, he was 156.9, 157.5, still has that lead. Stupin right there with him. This is, again, you talk about what Energy has been able to do, and
the team they've been able to put together. James Gibson, the head coach, Jean-Francois Salisi, the GM. James Gibson has done such a fine job in managing this team. But Toronto, give credit to their coaching staff. Dylan Kent, the GM, Byron McDonald, 2 great coaches, and we talked about the Andrews, obviously.
Stupin right there with 150 meters to go. Looks, at least appearance-wise, that he's got the better breaststroke. The question is, will he have the better freestyle?
And it's a quick look right there, and Stupin is just doing a fantastic job here on the breaststroke. He was 34.3 on that split, 35 flat for Almeida. Almeida's come back on him. Check this split out. 35.1 for Stupin, 35.4 for Almeida.
At a half a second as Stupin trying to get the win for Energy Standard. They have dominated day 2. They have just as many wins on day 2 already as they had on day number 1. They've won 20 races, trying to get their 21st win of match 6.
Oh, this is huge for Stupin, and if you look at what they bring now for a 1-2 punch with Litchfield coming back, hopefully, and Stupin, regardless of how he shakes out being here, this is a 1-2 huge punch for Energy.
Max Stupin, the European junior short course champion, and the 400 IM is going to come home in a big way. What a second half swim for Max Stupin as Energy Standard gets win number 21 of the match. A much better swim for Heinz. He moves up and finishes 3rd.
Stupin almost goes his best time, 4:05.4.
Max Stupin getting the win, but you don't want to miss the skins. They're coming up next. All right, it is time for the skins as match 6 comes to its conclusion. Toronto won the relay and they chose the backstroke. But on paper,
yeah,
this one could be pretty interesting.
It is. This is not one of those runaway picks for skins, Bernie. I mean, when you think about what separated 1 through 4 in that 50 yesterday, you're talking about 24/100ths of a second, 1 through 4. Medeiros is the world record holder, and she was 5th at 26.8. So if somehow or another she can kind of come back to any kind of form, she could throw herself in there. She's right there, marching out now. So all 4 teams really have a shot to get somebody in the Final Four. Moss, Chores from New York, Davies and Seabaum from Energy, and of course Medeiros. This is a really interesting skins right here. This is fascinating. It should be Moss. Maybe Bratton. If somehow she can get in a Final Four, she's going to have enough from her 200 history to get into the Final 2. Bratton's right there. But somehow or another, she's got to get in the Final Four, and that's going to be tough to do with this field.
Only 4 will survive round 1. Who will it be?
Kylie Moss is 3 from the top when we go overhead. 3 from the top, 3 from the right. Right there with that gold cap, that's Moss.
Man, this is tight. Only 4 going to move on.
Right? Moss much better underwater than anybody else.
Yeah, Moss flew off the wall. Seabomb trying to move on with her. Who's going to join Kylie Moss and Seabomb? Energy Standard. They get 2 onto the semis. As Kylie Moss gets the win.
Oh, wasn't by much though. New York shut out of it. Chores was second yesterday. She was 5th today by 8/100ths of a second. Bratton was 6th at 26.89. But this was really, I mean, yeah, Moss, and that's a good choice. You have to choose Kylie Moss because now what she can do is she can keep coming back. Moss, a great 200 backstroker. But how about Davies and Seabomb getting in there for a double for Energy Standard? So they had their chances really moved up now to get into a final. Now they're 50-50 and to get into a final.
Toronto's trying to rely a little bit on Eddie and Medeiros, the world record holder in this event.
Right, Seabomb's 4.6, Davies 5.7. Talking about 26. Nobody broke 26 there.
How much the key, isn't it, Rowdy, to move on, but save a little in the tank?
Well, that's what you've got to figure Moss had the capability of doing. I don't think anybody else could do that, though, in the field.
Coach McDonald hoping that Toronto can keep the streak alive. The team that picked the skins has won the skins.
This is where this is he's talking about her skills, and she's got so many. She holds the water so well, Bernie. There's Seabomb right there in front of you to the left, 5-time Olympic medalist. She's been in these situations over and over again. But Moss, her stroke rate and her tempo, that second 25, Coach McDonald was talking about just nail the turn and you'll be fine. And he's exactly right.
All right, Seabomb in 3, Davies in 4, Moss in 5, and Medeiros in lane number 6.
I think Medeiros is going to have a hard time coming back.
Kylie Moss with the best start. Inside of her, Davies looking to move on as well.
And that's exactly what she did, nailing that turn.
Which Energy Standard swimmer is going to join Kylie Moss? It's going to be Seabomb and Moss on to the final.
The times are coming down. Moss the only one to break 27 there. Seabomb 27-2. Davies, nice job of getting into the Final Four. She'll keep her points. Medeiros is the one that gave up the jackpot on that. I had a feeling she was going to be in trouble on that second one. Nice job of getting in the Final Four, but she gave them up on the second one. And two great Olympians.
Yeah, so this is a big race for Kylie Moss. 9 points in the first round, 14 points in the second round, and she could get 14 more points for a win.
Move up on the MVP standings, no doubt. Well, here you have Seabomb, 53 global medals. He's talking about Australia, Seabomb's home country. About a minute left before they have to exit the pool. Great thing to shake off those legs for Kylie Moss. That's what she did the last time. Just keep shaking the legs out. That's where that lactic acid can build up so much.
Interesting to see the strategy and how it evolves. Some of the men's swimmers, you see them hop out,
I think this
but
is smart.
they're swimming down.
I stay in the water. I'm living in that water until the absolutely last second. You're capable of doing so much while you're in the water as far as shaking that lactic acid out. He's saying 0.53. 0.53 on reaction time. So she was brilliant reaction-wise off the blocks on that second 50. This is going to be an uphill battle for Seebohm. It's going to be a tough road to hoe for Seebohm here. I think this is all Moss. Point 5.4 for Moss.
Great start for Kylie Moss, trying to be the skins winner. She is pulling ahead here in the first 25.
Yeah, Seebohm just having a hard time even getting over on that one.
Toronto, the Titans, they can celebrate because Kylie Moss is the skins winner.
27-1, 27-7, but again, the last one, the time really has no bearing on anything. It's just a matter of survival, and you know, Moss getting off that block, 0.53, Seebohm 0.66, so she starts off a 10th behind already. Doesn't have the underwaters that Seebohm has. Has Moss has. See Moss, just quicker on the legs, great dolphin kick, great undulation underneath the water. Again, the tempo and stroke rate, even though the time is slower, so magnificent for Kylie Moss. Heroic for Seebohm to even get in there.
Kylie Moss moves into second in the MVP standings as she earns 38 points in the skins. Chad Leclos backstage with Florent Manadou. It is time for the freestyle skins. And Flo looks ready.
Those mustaches look ready to go. I think I like Flo's a little bit better, but this is another fascinating skins. Manadou clearly way ahead of everybody based on his first swim. The key is getting into that second and third swim because he may become vulnerable. 9/100ths of a second separates the third place finisher to the 8th place finisher. That is very, very close. Michael Andrew right in front of you. He was third in the 50 freestyle. Szabo was second, 20.9. So you've got to figure Manadou and Szabo will move on in this first heat. But after that, I don't know. Manadou is clearly the head and shoulders favorite. But boy, these are a lot of really good 100 guys in here.
And by the way,
Manadou is too, but boy, there's some good 100 guys. So if they can somehow get to second round, Bernie, they may have a chance.
Yeah, because right now, Siobhan Hahi leads the MVP standings, 61.5 points. Manadou currently 4th. But this is the skins where anything could happen, and Manadou, he could have a couple of big jackpot rounds, and he could really haul in the points.
It went Andrew, Moresi, Billis, Chadwick, Timmers, and Peroni. Peroni was 8th. 9/100ths of a second out of 4th. That's how tight it is, 4 through 8.
Well, we know that Szabo is on form. He nearly broke the world record in the 50 fly.
Good start by Szabo. 0.61. Brilliant start. Faster than anybody.
And Szabo is going to shoot out into the lead along with Manadou. Only 4 move on. Szabo into the lead, but here comes Manadou. Andrew moving up as well, and it's Manadou. He moves on, and 2 from Aqua Centurions along with Michael Andrew.
Aqua, something to cheer about. They haven't had much to cheer about this weekend, but finally, they waited until the last event, and something tells me that Manadou has a lot left in the tank. Middle of the screen, red cap, boom, he breathes right off the wall. First, and then breathes again. He breathes, then breathes again. He breathed 3 times coming home. He breathed twice going down the first 25, Bernie. He breathed 5 times that 50. Normally, he would go the full 50, 1 breath, maybe 0. Breathes 5 times, still goes 21 flat. That guy's got a lot of gas left in the tank.
In the MVP race, you get half of your points tacked on in the skin. So of the 9 points, Manadou wins. 4.5 go towards his MVP total. Haughey, 61.5. Szabo currently third, but Manadou still with a chance. 2 more rounds of swimming, but he would need a jackpot, I would think, to move in front of Haughey in the MVP battle.
He could jackpot here. How much does Michael Andrew have left in the tank? He's kind of carried this New York team on his shoulders. There he is right there. Great job of getting in there. He was 21-24 in the individual event, went 21-3 there. That's his dad. Coaching staff telling them to come off with their legs.
Big moment for the Aqua Centurions. Can they get one onto the final? Baresi in 5, Szabo in 6.
I like Szabo and Manadou here. Baresi's a good 100 guy, though. Baresi's a better 100 guy than Szabo. See how many times Manadou breathes here. Good start for Szabo. Again, 0.60.
Man, Szabo is always out first, and Szabo's the leader 25 meters in. But the lead starts to dwindle as Manadou starts to take control. Who is going to join him in the finals? Manadou and Szabo moving on.
Almost like he's toying with him. Manadou came off third in that. Still goes 21-7. Szabo broke 21-9. And watch Manadou. You know, so many people think about the turn and assume it's the legs, but when you come off that wall, you have to engage your whole body. And then he's just so connected to the core. He breathed 5 times again, by the way. Breathed 5 times. And he'd breathe it all the way. In fact, I think 6. He kind of went 2 in a row there. I think he breathed 6 times that 50. I tried to count, but what a swim by Flo Manadou to get in there. And if he breathes 6 times on a second 50 going 21-7, yeah, be tough to bet against him here.
All right, Manadou and Szabo move on to the finals. This is the MVP picture. Haughey leads with 61.5 points. Szabo could actually tie Haughey if Szabo wins.
Wow.
So this is a battle right here for these guys, not only for the skins. Manadou is out at 51 points, the best that he can do, because again, 14 points, he'd get 7 tacked on. He would move into second ahead of Kylie Moss, but again, $20,000 spread among the top three.
Right.
Some big money going on the line here between Szabo and Manitou.
A lot of money.
And of course you want to be the skins winner.
A little more effort. Easy for Yeah. Yeah. He's not exactly right there, but hey, let's say that now. But he's so right when he's talking about last 15. Just do the last 15.
But will we see Szabo with the lead after the first 25 for the third straight 50? That's the question.
Szabo will lead at the 25. I really believe that. But the man knows how to get home the last 25. He'll go to that. He's so good off the blocks, 0.62. And Manitou for a good guy. Wow, look at the difference there, 0.65. But
oh,
goodbye.
Manitou, there he goes. If he jackpots Szabo, he would potentially be the MVP. Look at Manitou, how he saved it for the last 50.
0.85. Oh, he's going to be close. You do the math, Bernie. 63? No, he doesn't jackpot him. He does not.
Manitou, the skins winner. He is going to tie for second with Szabo in the MVP race with 58 points, but man, did he go after it.
He didn't waste any time this time. And Szabo goes, dude, I had you at the second 50 of the 25. What'd you do on the third one?
Manitou, skins winner, but most important for him, Energy Standard. They get their first win of ISL 2020. And Mark Foster's down with their head coach, James Gibson. All right, Energy Standard with a win. They move into fourth. Now they have 7 points in ISL 2020. Energy Standard winning the match with 609 points. Toronto second with 448. They move into a tie with Tokyo and New York, 4-6. Siobhan Hahi, the match MVP. What a start to ISL 2020. Double headers coming your way later this week. But for now, for Mark Foster, Rowdy Gaines, and our entire ISL crew, burning up there saying so long from Budapest, where the defending champions have their first win of the season.